Sup nerds, Adam Ronin here, and we are back with another Ronin review, which is one of our favorite things to do on one of your favorite things, which is Mortal Kombat slash kind of an arcade machine that has arcade parts, so you know you're freaking out. This is good stuff, because let me tell you just a brief story. When this game came out, Mortal Kombat 2 in 1993, I was in 6th grade, I was 11 years old, and there was nothing more than I wanted than to own a Mortal Kombat 2 arcade cabinet. That was the literal life force of my fucking being as a human being. There was this kid in my class, he was this douchey little asswipe that starred in like kids commercials. He was like the famous kid in town, and he pulled me aside one day and he says, "Adam Ronin, for this next commercial I'm doing, I will buy you a Mortal Kombat arcade cabinet as a gift." And of course I was dumb, I was 11, I was just fucking full of hope and vigor, things that adult me have relinquished due to life's disappointments. I did not yet know disappointment then, and I said to this kid, I said, "Yes, please, buy me the cabinet." You motherfucker never bought me the cabinet. Many, many years later, Arcade1Up has made my dreams come true, but does it hold up? Let's find out in today's Ronin review. So there's a few things we're going to talk about with this review, because obviously these games have been out for 26 years now. So the games themselves, they're emulated and they're arcade perfect, minus a couple clips that we'll get into. But you guys are probably wondering, well, how is the actual quality? Because as you know, you're going from a $2,000 arcade machine that is going to be 6 foot plus tall down to what is a 4 foot machine to what is effectively $300. So you are cutting some corners in compared to an actual arcade unit. Obviously the first thing that you're going to notice with that is size. So I'm sure you guys have seen these in Walmart. This particular Mortal Kombat 2 cab is exclusive only to Walmart's. Shudder. Fucking sucks there, but you know, what are you gonna do? In fact, actually the only store I've ever seen the Arcade1Up store units in is Walmart. There was rumors that they were gonna be in Targets too. I never saw that happen. Walmart it is, or online. Our particular experience is we went to a bunch of stores looking for this for like a month, never found it, and we found this one at our local Walmart. However, it had been returned, so it was pre-built. We didn't actually have a chance to assemble the unit itself. So when you get it, it's going to be in a box and you're going to have to assemble it to a degree that we actually have no knowledge on, because we didn't have to assemble ours. It came pre-built. The guy bought it, he didn't like that it was small, so he returned it. It had been unplayed, and it was heavily discounted. So I was like, yeah, I'll take that, fuck yeah. But we did buy the riser, which brings it up to about 5 foot-ish, and it brings you kind of more to the arcade experience. Without it, if you're a bigger guy, or even if you're an adult at all, you have to sit and play it. So it's put together by various pieces that are made out of like plywood with a plastic bevel and everything. The arcade marquee is just like a sticker on the front of it. It's not a full-blown light-up marquee that you would find in an actual arcade. And we get down, and everything is arcade perfect in the sense though how it used to look. So everything is really cool there. It looks like a mini MK2 cabinet. Of course, it's loaded with MK1, MK2, and Ultimate MK3. But now we get into the meat and potatoes of the sticks. The buttons and the stick that it comes with, I have to tell you, are kind of the cheaper range. You can kind of hear, and I'm sure that a lot of you are attuned to the sound of Sanwas, which these are not. I don't know what this comes with, actually. I don't know what the stock buttons are. We didn't have documentation with the unit that we bought. And the sticks, they're fine. They're bat tops, which is nice for me because I prefer bat tops, and that is how Mortal Kombat was in the arcade. I was nervous about that when they revealed these for the first time a few months ago, that they had the ball tops, and I was like, you can't do that to MK, but they shipped it with bat tops, which is cool. I don't know how easy it is to be replacing these buttons, because I have a feeling you're gonna want to do that instantly when you get this, if you're an arcade aficionado. For us, it's going to be down here in the studio. Gordy and I are going to play it to just settle disputes on what content we're making and stuff like that. So it's not going to be beaten to fucking death. This is more like a holy grail of mine that I had to have. Is going to sit in this corner back here and be on set for stuff. We'll play it occasionally, and it'll be fun for when people come by and visit. But I don't foresee needing to change these depending on the beating that it takes over the next like 6 months or so, but I think it's going to be okay, serviceable. I've definitely played MK2 in barcades that was much worse off than these are out of the gate. The bat tops do have a little bit of wiggle to them. That's not the sticks themselves, it's just the way the bat tops are screwed on. It's just a little wiggly, you know? But once you're actually playing, you don't notice any problems. Button-wise, like I mentioned, the buttons are a little low quality, so they don't have that perfect sound or feel. They're a little bit squishier than you would probably really get into. But they're serviceable, they play, and they do a good job, but they are noticeably different than what you would have in your arcade or what you have at home on your sticks or something like that. The software inside is where, obviously, this motherfucker shines, because you are playing 3 classic games. One of these games, Mortal Kombat 2, which the whole model is based off of, which is loaded in here, is my top game of all time. It means everything to me. The emulation is great with a couple of little things. So when you are pressing start to play, or you're pressing in MK2 specifically, or MK3, when you're doing up and start to do your random select, the emulation thinks you're putting in quarters. So it does the sound of when you put in quarters. So every time you press the start button, not only is it starting the game, but it also thinks you're putting in quarters. So you're getting that sound, which you wouldn't normally have in another emulated version. So I'm not really sure what emulations they used here and why that happens, but it is what it is. It's a very small complaint. It's just a little annoying when you're not used to always hearing excellent, excellent when you press start. It's just a little off-putting. And another thing is you can't access the debug menus, which is, it's a little here and there, but if you're kind of an arcade nerd, or you remember back in the day, there used to be the switches on the top of the units where you could turn it off and turn it back on and access the startup menus where you could set the difficulty, you could set it to free play. None of that is in these emulations, so you are stuck on what seems to be the hardest difficulty of each 3 games. If you're playing single player in the arcade modes, it's tough as fuck. And that's fine, because kids today need to learn how we learned as kids. You play the hard games, but stuck on free play, can't access the debug menus. However, the emulations are solid. It plays and feels just like the arcade, because that's what this is. So let's wrap up these thoughts here, because this is an interesting purchase. So normally you are at $299 for the unit itself. You're adding in another $50 for the riser to make it more of an arcade experience, which I think is absolutely necessary. If you buy this as just a smaller unit, you can play it while you're sitting on your couch or pull up a couple of bar stools and play it, and that's fine. But if you want that semi-quasi-authentic experience, you need the riser to be, as you can see, I'm 6'4", old machines are probably like up to here, so you are still losing that height and that space, but you know, it's a fair trade for the price. It is a chunk of change, but you know, there are a lot of these units, and these are really taking the world by storm. There's people that have built their own home arcades, which is really what this is all about. I was just excited. I remember I wrote Arcade1Up like 6-7 months ago, and I said, I will just fucking do dirty ass things to this company if you release a Mortal Kombat cabinet. And they wrote me back and they were like, I think you'll be pleased in a couple of months. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then here we are. Dreams come true. Lower quality, you sacrifice a little bit of that, but it is, I think it's worth the purchase, especially if you are as attached to the franchise as I am. Another thing I didn't mention before when we're going over the build quality is the volume. There is the volume that's set on silent, which it is now, and you have another setting here.
Excellent.
See, that's what I'm talking about. Always putting in. Or you can turn it up to the loudest. And it's good. It's real good. You can hear it. Sounds like my fucking youth.
Round 1, fight.
Yeah, you fucking see? So yes, I do think it's worth the purchase. Of course, you know they do have the Street Fighter versions. So that's actually our next purchase, is we're going to get the Street Fighter 2 cab. I have it mirroring on the side there, which I'm very excited about. And eventually we'll line the whole studio with all the products that they come out with, because I think they're super cool, and they are a hell of a lot cheaper than buying a full-size unit, which I would of course prefer to have, but I'm not made of money. This is a small-ass YouTube channel. But it is super, super cool. if you are looking for super high quality pieces built into this and excellent build quality, you're probably gonna be a little bit disappointed. A lot of people are. But if you are a casual player and you just want the nostalgia of Mortal Kombat in your house, fuck yes, I totally recommend it. I'm all over it. Smells like fucking success. Smells like EVO 2016 champion MK2. Let's rock. Guys, Adam Ronin. This is a Ronin review of the Arcade1Up Mortal Kombat 2 cabinet. We're back, baby. We're making videos again. Feels good. Right, Gordy?
That's a nice bit of attack.
That's a nice bit of attacker. MK11's really fucking cool. Guys, hit that subscribe button. We got things coming at you. We got more reviews coming in the next month. We've got tons of fucking big reviews of big products. We got the reboot of the Boss Battle show that's gonna be a fucking thing. We'll see you soon. Press subscribe. Do it. Gordy, tell them how to do it.
Subscribe.
Subscribe today.